Hello everyone, this is my reaction to yesterday's Inside Star Citizen Alpha 4.9 patch report. It was just a patch report and only 6 minutes. Red Inside Star Citizen, green Star Citizen Live 2020, 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25 and 26. CRG's excuse for 2025 was we don't want to track the devs in front of the camera, instead they should fix bugs. This is Chris, letter from a Sherman, December 2024. 2025 will focus on playability. As we jump into the new year, 2025, our primary focus across our star system teams is clear, improving playability. Our drive for playability surrounds 3 critical areas: performance, stability, and content. We understand that a live environment must be far more reliable and consistent, and we are determined to deliver on this. This was a big, fat lie. We got less new mechanics in 2025, but CRG did not improve playability in 2025 at all. We still have the same issues. Hangars are still bugged. Ships still spawn into unknown, but are shown as on-pad on ASOP. Elevators, ship elevators, freight elevators are still not working reliably. Docking is still broken for more than 4 years by now. It works occasionally, but CRG forces certain ships to use dock, and they don't get a hangar assigned. We cannot choose a hangar. We still have massive do-things and interaction delays. We still lose items when we want to quick them. Star Citizen's UI, item interaction and inventory system are one of the worst I've ever seen in any game. Picking up items and putting them into certain locations is still slow and clunky. But there's no excuse for 2026. This was only the 5th Inside Star Citizen in 2026.
Last week, we announced our decision to move the release of our upcoming Siege of Origin operation from next week out to mid-August, giving us more time to harden the system supporting our first iterations of content instancing.
I'm looking very forward to Siege of Origin instancing, and I'm sure it will be a total catastrophe. Instancing is a solved problem in MMOs for more than 25 years, but CRG even fails at instancing. See, for example, overlapping hangars. This happened to me, but for many people it's much worse. They can lose their ship, they can lose their cargo, because CRG cannot separate different hangars. So you have one big cargo elevator. Okay, what happened now? What is this? I didn't spawn the pieces. Okay, I'm confused. Anyway, you might get some vehicles inside. Okay, are now pieces left. I guess 2 hangars overlapped. Okay, that's too funny.
In ship and vehicle features, some long-awaited enhancements to the combat UI arrive next week, designed to help everyone better understand successful hits, penetrations, and damage to shields, armor, hull, and components. That's just neat.
No, it's not neat. No one asked for this, but this is now totally arcade. What happened to Star Citizen as a sim game? You just used this phrase very recently on LinkedIn. It was totally fine how it was before. We could see damage to the shields of the target were going down, and if it did damage to the ship, parts of the hull were flashing red and turned red. Feedback of the new hit markers and sound isn't exactly fantastic. Here we have Citron. 4.9 hitmaker sound is terrible. Hitmaker. Please finally give us the option to completely disable hitmaker sounds. This audio feedback is by far some of the worst I've ever heard in a game. The visual hitmarker indicator should also be fully optional. The constant flashing and glowing is completely overdone and feels like unnecessary visual clutter. The whole system is not only distracting, but generally awful and completely destroys immersion. And of course, this thread has been moved to feedback, aka graveyard, by moderation. And we have this thread by Shinatobe, weird hitmarker audio. I hope it's a bug. Hitmarkers are already adding to the unnecessary clutter, in my honest opinion. Now if there's some ugly audio on top of that, these sounds should stay in Minecraft where they belong. There's a video, let's take a look at the video. Is this a joke? What are you doing, CRG? This sounds like Super Mario Kart or something. Once upon a time, Star Citizen was supposed to be a serious space sim. This is long gone, and now we are totally an arcade game. At the very least, please give us a switch to turn this off.
There's also a new ordnance cargo container feature going in, adding dedicated frames for things like missiles, torpedoes, and bombs to improve the presentation and storage of such items on cargo grids.
Missiles, torpedoes, and bombs glitched halfway to the ground when you put them onto a freight elevator. So CRG's solution is now, let's put a frame around it. At least we can stack them now, so I guess that's a good thing.
So it's a smaller thing that perhaps isn't as sexy, but all existing distribution centers are being redropped on planets and moons with a variety of systemic and physics improvements that will fix a large amount of missions that occur there.
In 3.23, April 2024, CRG put distribution centers into the game. They are just copy and pasted all over planets and moons. They have roads, but nothing connects to the roads, and there's nothing nearby that would need a distribution center. No towns, no mining spots, nothing at all. If you want to distribute cargo, do it in space, not in a gravity well, unless there's something nearby, which is not. To this day, CRG hasn't even finished the lower levels of distribution centers, so I guess maybe in 2 years, and then in another 2 years, another 2 years, another 2 years.
And ahead of Starware, which I'll go ahead and tell you is currently tracking for 4/11 in September, cross your fingers, there's a new series of combat clothing coming to shops in the verse.
I'm looking very forward to Starware. Looks like we can now finally equip a rifle, even when we just wear clothes. Yeah, CRG's item port system is very restrictive. Right now we cannot even wear a backpack if you don't wear body armor.
New kiosks have been added to New Deal.
Funny that we have to praise CRG that they finally add more screens to New Deal. Looks like we have now 4 screens. I still don't think that's enough. Today we can order almost anything just using a smartphone. 900 years into our future, we have to use a console. Why can't we use MobiClass to rent buy ships? New hairstyles, and we get a new gun. This will be Alpha 4.9. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen. I mean, even...
Attention.
Okay, you wouldn't believe what just happened. I heard attention. Did I get a crime? I got a crime stat for this. Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter or on Blue Sky.